Zach, why don't you tell us what that enhanced income benefit for long-term care is exactly?
Yeah. So when we're looking at that enhanced benefit for the long-term care, most, like you said, most of them didn't offer this feature about a decade ago. But really what it's doing is it's allowing the opportunity for the income to double for a set period of time. In most cases, that income has the ability to double based on the account value and what's available there within the account value, and can double for up to 5 years or 60 months. With that care benefit that's now added, again, typically at no additional cost, now you're able to help yourself if you're unable to complete 2 out of 6 activities of daily living, whether that's feeding yourself, bathing yourself. Um, this tool is implemented most commonly just by filling out a form saying, hey, I check these boxes. Here's my doctor's evidence of that. And from there, you're able to use that feature.
Yeah, and it's a really important feature and benefit, especially for people that don't have any traditional long-term care coverage. I believe the statistic today is like 75% of retirees today don't have a formal long-term care plan. So, in other words, they didn't secure traditional long-term care coverage when they were a bit younger and have been paying into this plan for so long to be able to cover those incurred costs. So, if you're looking for a way to add some long-term care benefits to your overall plan, an annuity like this is a way to do that. But I will tell you, while there is a fair amount of income annuities offering this long-term care enhancement, you do have to be aware of the fine print. There are some products out there that actually majority of the products offering this feature have a stipulation in the contract where it states that in order for this enhanced income benefit to be available, there needs to be account value remaining and enough to cover those long-term care payouts, which are usually a doubled amount of whatever the guaranteed income amount is. So, in other words, if your income amount, your guaranteed income amount from the annuity was, say, $30,000 a year, if you qualify for the long-term care enhancement, it will double that 30,000 to 60,000 and pay that for up to 5 years. But in the contract of the majority of these products, it states if there isn't an account value remaining, that and enough to cover the long-term care doubler, then that benefit will be null and void. So there are, though, this has been kind of a pain point that we've been lobbying for to be addressed, and that is this is a great feature and benefit, but if the product isn't built and designed to be able to sustain the account value long term when someone would go on claim, then the benefit is smoke and mirrors, really. It's just all marketing fluff. And so that actual pain point has been addressed by a few products. There's not many, but there are a few that are on the market today that have addressed that. And in the contract, it states that regardless of the contract value or account value, even if it's depleted to zero, that enhanced income benefit doubler for long-term care is still available. And that's something that you need to be aware of. And you need to make sure whoever may be positioning this annuity product and kind of building up value around this enhanced income benefit for long-term care, that it needs to be one of the products that has likelihood to either A, sustain the account value. And the way it would do that is by the actual growth potential of the index crediting strategies. It needs to have proven performance and strong enough crediting rates to be able to do that. And then B, that if it doesn't have that, then it has a contractual element that states even if the account value depletes to zero, that the enhanced income benefit is still available.
Yeah. And to your point, roughly, I think it's more than half, over 50% of these contracts have that long-term care feature built into it. So again, understanding the utility of how can we use it, in what spaces can we use it in, and what are the odds of me being able to use this feature are beyond important to know. And if this is a mainstay in your consideration of why this annuity might be a fit for you, then we got to dive deeper and find out if there's a better solution there.
For sure. And that'll lead us into our feature comparison snapshot. So, we've covered a lot here on why someone may be inclined to look at upgrading their older annuity. And we put together a brief chart that'll highlight some of those benefits just to kind of do a quick recap here. So, Zach, why don't you, if you can see my screen, why don't you cover some of those features and benefits there?
Yeah. So we've talked about using a fixed index annuity for the purpose of lifetime income. And what we've found is frequently in these contracts that maybe in the range of 10 or 5 to 10 years older, um, oftentimes we can get better payout rate. So, right. So the amount that you're receiving as an income distribution for your lifetime income, oftentimes there's a 2 to 3% difference. And we're seeing that right here if we compare a product from 10 years ago to today. So it's just understanding and comparing if there's going to be a value that you get from a newer product today. Um, Income bonuses, we talked about bonuses before, like you mentioned. Is that income bonus higher today than what it was then? And how does that affect that payout that you're getting? Another thing across the board that we've noticed is that the fee oftentimes is less. Not in every case, but when we compare that, again, part of the value that we're bringing is that transparency so that we can compare and find out if there's a better solution for you. Furthermore, the index selection is probably the most, in my opinion, the most glaring component when we're comparing these side by side.